Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip.
Hi, my name's Nate Johnson, and I'm the CEO and founder of GLCS and host of this Driving Forward podcast, Tuesday's Trip. If you're watching this, you made it through the first week of 2024. Congratulations. Follow GLCS on LinkedIn for all major content updates on events, including conferences. Follow Driving Forward on all major streaming platforms, including YouTube. Like, share, and comment. You can reach us at drivingforward@glcs.net. Please send us any commentary, including suggestions. We're happy to respond. Coming up on Thursday, we have a great episode with Sean Lydecker, the co-founder of Loyalty Logistics. Sean and I will be talking about a variety of things, including imposter syndrome and how it's impacted his life. I know it's a topic he and I are both passionate about. I've written about it. I've talked about it a lot. If you're able to join, please do on Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Time. Last week on the Driving Forward podcast, we had a panel on. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, please check it out. I had a great time with Jenny Malafarina, Dan Lindsay, Robert Bain, and Trey Griggs. We had an episode scheduled in a few weeks to talk about what's to come in 2024. But during last week's podcast, we did broach the subject briefly about personal goals in 2024 with the attendees, and several people brought up their goals. During the podcast, people presented specific goals, and other people brought up words that they wanted to focus on over the 2024 year. For example, instead of presenting a specific goal, maybe the word for 2024 for a particular person was transform. I wanted to reflect on that for a little time. I liked that idea, and I intended on using this week's episode to talk about 2024 personal goals and maybe some professional goals as well, as to how they fit into my life as we continue into the 2024 year. But first off, I had a few goals in mind personally. I liked the idea of that word, so I reflected on it a little while. And I wanted to thank Dan and Trey and anyone else that I'm missing that put forth that idea. But I first want to talk about goals from last year's that maybe I wasn't public about. But let's go into that, and then we'll talk about 2024. So last year, I wanted to get into some better shape. I'm a big guy. It was my goal to lose some weight. And from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023, I lost around 50 pounds. And I plan on continuing that. I'll talk about that in a minute. Really, that journey didn't start until about mid-April. Continue to focus on it, actually probably doubling down on it now. Especially now that we're through the holiday season, that's a hard time to focus on getting in shape and spending time moving and especially eating the right things and not partaking of various libations, but definitely going to be focusing on that next year. Another goal from 2023 that I wanted to look at and grow was building my own voice. And certainly I've never been one that's shy, but I've always been good at speaking in small groups. And at one point I was very good at speaking in large groups, but over the years I've kind of lost that. And Driving Forward podcast is part of this. It took us a while to get it off the ground. It really was something we intended to roll forward with in March, April. But we didn't launch it until October. But getting that voice out there, learning to speak again in larger groups, putting my opinion out in front of not just the people in front of me or in a smaller group that I know folks in, but really out into the world, using social media as a larger platform. Those are all steps that I wanted to move forward with, and I am doing that. And I don't want to take away from my discussion with Sean on Thursday, but a lot of this ties into imposter syndrome. Something, I've been aware of that for some time, but as I've studied it more and more throughout the years, it's interesting how it applies. And you can say what you want about labeling things in society, but this is something that really does impact many people out there, and it's a good way to identify. Are you an authority in your field and still don't feel like you should be speaking on a particular topic? But I'll certainly be talking more about imposter syndrome even after Sean and I talk on Thursday. But I want to give that Thursday podcast its time to shine. So a third goal from 2023 is we wanted to accomplish a variety of things at GLCS as we went through, completed our 6th year of business and went into our 7th year of business. We accomplished a lot of those goals, but throughout that, I've realized a lot of other things that I've rolled into 2024. And I don't necessarily want to make this a discussion about how this all fits into GLCS and business-related goals that way. I want to talk more generically about personal goals and leadership and that type of thing, and how this can apply to everyone. So on to 2024. The word I selected for 2024 is progress. And on a personal note, I want to continue progressing from last year. And everything I've been doing in the last year, I just want to continue on. I think we have some great traction, whether that's on my personal health and continuing to get back into shape, or that's continuing to find my voice, which I'll talk about here in a little bit more. I've started to read again, which you never stop reading, but I used to read a book a week, and that stopped over the last 8 to 10 years. So my goal this year is to read a book a month. I'd love to read more than that. I know many people who read far more books than I do, but I'm going to start with that. So a book a month, and I probably have 15 books lined up, and a great, many of my friends have written books, and I have them stacked up to read at this moment, and I haven't gotten through them yet. So that's where I'm starting, and then following that, I'll continue with other books. I want to pick back up golf. I used to golf a lot, and I don't golf anywhere near as much as I used to. So much so that I used to help organize golf events, and I know I'm going to advise as much as I can with our Broker Carrier Summit golf event coming up in April, but I certainly am not going to be a contender. As many of you who may have golfed with me before in the past and wanted me on your team, I am not that guy anymore. So, but maybe I can get back to that. On the business side, I'll continue to find my voice, continue to speak and work to educate and inform others. This is not a GLCS initiative. This is a me initiative. This is one that I want to take the knowledge that I have and bring forth a educational platform through Driving Forward, through whatever avenue I can, to various people in the industry, whether it's from an owner operator to fleets to brokers of all sizes, And I'm excited about doing that, and I'm excited about bringing those ideas forward. And I have a lot of ideas about how to potentially do that. So as we continue to do that, and we have staff now on hand to help do that. As we continue to do that, that's going to be a blast. We're going to see some fun things happen at Manifest, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But that will be great in 2024. With GLCS, we're going to double down. And once again, I'm not going to talk about a ton of things with GLCS here as far as goals. We're going to double down on many of the things that are working. We grew a lot last year. Maybe not in headcount, but we grew a lot in revenue. We did very well. We needed to throughout the COVID years. We struggled, and I feel like we're poised to do some amazing things in 2024. And we have some great relationships that we've established and we continue to establish. And so I'm excited to see where that's going to go. But overall, we're continuing to make progress. And once again, that's my word for 24. We have a lot of great things going, and we're going to see where that takes us. So with that being said, I wanted to shift gears a little bit. The GLCS and the Driving Forward podcast will be at Manifest February 5th through 7th. Stop by the Zell Logistics booth, and we'll be live with the podcast from time to time there. If you happen to be going to Manifest, we'll be putting some interesting things together. If you want to be a part of that, please reach out to us. Together, there'll be quite a bit of live and recorded content that we'll be putting together while we're there. We're happy to have you be part of that. Please reach out to us at drivingforward@glcs.net, or reach out to me directly on LinkedIn. If you want to participate, or if you just want to get together while you're there. It should be a great time. But once again, the Zell Logistics booth, you'll probably see us hovering around there from time to time. We partnered with Zell and are happy to be working with them throughout the Manifest conference. So with that, we're going to keep this Tuesday trip short. It's probably the first time I've said that and actually meant it. So stay curious, stay informed, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Until next time, drive forward with purpose and innovation. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.